Have you ever stopped to think about what the end of the world would be like? Many believe in theories such as the fall of a meteor, similar to what happened to the dinosaurs, or that wars, humanity itself, or even a deadly virus could lead us to destruction. But what about the last book of the Bible, the Apocalypse? It presents a fascinating and terrifying vision of the end times, featuring characters like the four horsemen, beasts, angels, and demons. Today, we're going to explore what the Bible says about the end of the world. Before we begin, if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, go ahead and click the red button and give us a thumbs up. It helps the channel a lot. Today, we're venturing into one of the most enigmatic and intriguing themes in history, the end of the world as described in Revelation. According to the Bible, this catastrophic event is inevitable, and when it arrives, it will not be easy at all. Get ready, because the narrative we're about to explore resembles a true horror film. Revelation is the result of the visions received by the prophet John while he was exiled on the isolated island of Patmos around the year 95 AD. During this period of seclusion, John received profound and disturbing revelations about the fate of the world. He wrote about the end times in an intense and frightening manner, filled with symbolism and vivid descriptions. In the narrative, the setting unfolds with devastating natural catastrophes, such as earthquakes that shake the earth, storms that engulf entire cities, and tsunamis that obliterate everything in their path. John also mentions plagues and pestilences spreading, bringing suffering and death to humanity. The descriptions are so vivid that they often seem more like a horror movie than a religious account. In addition to natural calamities, Revelation presents a cosmic conflict between forces of good and evil. John describes the rise of horrific creatures, such as beasts and demons, which are unleashed to spread chaos over the earth. These malevolent entities represent the evils that plague humanity, bringing war, despair, and destruction. The four horsemen of the apocalypse, each symbolizing conquest, war, famine, and death, ride their horses and march across the earth, bringing with them the horrors of what is to come. However, amidst all this darkness, there exists a glimmer of hope. The central message of Revelation is that, despite tribulations and suffering, good will always triumph over evil. The narrative culminates in a final battle, where the forces of light confront the darkness, and in the end, divine justice prevails. The faithful are rewarded, and a new heaven and a new earth are promised, where there will be no more pain, suffering, or death. As we delve deeper into John's apocalyptic visions, prepare for an intense journey filled with symbolism, fears, and, at the same time, a message of hope that transcends darkness. Revelation invites us to reflect on our own faith and resilience in the face of adversity. The book of Revelation was written during a time marked by intense oppression under the rule of the Roman Empire, which not only persecuted Christians, but also demanded that they worship the emperor as a god. In this atmosphere of terror and repression, many Christians were subjected to brutality, facing execution, torture, and coercion to renounce their faith. John the prophet penned his visions during this chaotic and violent era, where the Christian faith was facing severe restrictions. Christians opposed the notion of the emperor's divinity, promoting a resistance that was perceived as a threat to Roman control. This act of faith was regarded as subversive, leading to the systematic persecution of believers who refused to submit to this imperial cult. Christian communities, often marginalized and feared, were forced to gather in secrecy, away from the watchful eyes of the Romans. In writing his visions, John not only documented his spiritual experiences, but also provided a message of hope and resistance. In a world filled with despair, his words became a beacon for those being persecuted, a reminder that, despite pain and suffering, divine justice would ultimately prevail. John's visions portray the conflict between light and darkness, symbolizing the struggle of the Christian people against oppression and tyranny. He describes catastrophic events as precursors to the end, not merely as divine punishments, but also as reflections of the corruption and injustice permeating society. In this context, Revelation serves as both a warning and a prophecy, calling for resistance and faith amid adversity. Understanding Revelation necessitates recognizing the environment of tension and hostility in which it was written. The book is not merely a narrative about the end times. It is a testament to the perseverance of the Christian faith in the face of oppression and a promise that, in the end, good will triumph over evil, offering solace and hope to those who suffer. Now visualize the scene. You're walking down the street, enjoying a quiet day, when suddenly an inexplicable phenomenon occurs. Several people around you vanish without a trace, as if they've disintegrated. This might sound like something out of a science fiction movie, but this is the description of the rapture, one of the most impactful events of the apocalypse. During the rapture, those who have followed their faith are taken into a state of salvation, leaving behind only their clothes and belongings. What could be a moment of joy and liberation for these individuals transforms into a scene of utter chaos for those left behind. Cars that were once moving become dangerous, driverless machines, while airplanes lose their pilots, resulting in catastrophic crashes in the skies. The streets are filled with panic as people scream and struggle to comprehend what has just happened. Emergency services are overwhelmed, with hospitals packed with casualties from accidents and confusion. The world, which until now seemed normal, rapidly turns into a terrifying place. Those who were not taken are left bewildered, facing an unexpected chaos that shatters their lives and understanding of reality. This event marks the beginning of the true calamities that will follow. With the rapture, the balance of the world is disrupted, paving the way for a series of catastrophes that, according to the book of Revelation, are just getting started. Natural disasters, wars, and a wave of despair sweep across the earth. The landscape becomes dominated by uncertainty and fear, with humanity grappling with extreme challenges. The message of the rapture and the subsequent chaos is clear. What seems safe and stable is quickly brought to its knees. People who often take life for granted are forced to confront the fragility of their existence and the reality that the order they once knew has been irrevocably altered. The end times, according to Revelation, are not just a catastrophic event, but a call to reflection on faith, morality, and what it truly means to be prepared for the unexpected. According to Revelation, Jesus holds a book sealed with 7 seals, and as each seal is opened, terrible events unfold on earth. When the first 4 seals are broken, the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse emerge, each bringing with them a terrifying symbolism and a crucial role in the unfolding of the final events. The first horseman, riding a majestic white horse, symbolizes the Antichrist. He appears as a charismatic leader, capable of seducing and deceiving the masses. His goal is to create a new world order under his leadership, utilizing compelling rhetoric and promises of peace. However, behind his facade lies an intention of control and domination, and his arrival marks the beginning of a period of great deception and discord. The second horseman rides a red horse, bringing with him war and destruction. This horseman represents the loss of peace and the instigation of conflicts between nations and peoples. His presence signals a time of violence and bloody confrontations, where humanity finds itself divided, fighting against one another. The chaos and discord generated by his actions fuel a cycle of revenge and hatred, making peaceful coexistence a distant memory. The third horseman, riding a black horse, symbolizes famine. With a balance in hand, he represents not only the scarcity of food, but also rising prices and increasing inequality. This horseman arrives at a time when many are already suffering the consequences of war and disorder. His presence implies that the struggle for survival will become a daily challenge for millions, causing food insecurity to spread like a plague. Finally, the fourth horseman, riding a pale horse, personifies death. He brings with him not only physical death, but also a wave of plagues, destruction, and despair. The presence of this horseman signals the intensification of the calamities that plague humanity, with death becoming a constant in people's lives. He is the apex of terror that the apocalypse promises, representing the conclusion of a cycle of destruction and the victory of evil. These 4 horsemen, unleashed after the opening of the seals, are the personification of the crises that descend upon the earth. Together, they create a scenario of despair, a true realm of terror where morality is challenged and the struggle for survival becomes the priority. Yet even amidst this chaos, the underlying message is that, despite the adversities, the fight for faith and justice continues. The apocalypse, with all its shadows, brings the hope that in the end, good will prevail over evil. Amidst the chaos and devastation brought by the four horsemen, the apocalypse reveals a central message of hope and redemption. Although the world is filled with disasters, wars, and suffering, the promise that good will triumph over evil is a constant theme in John's visions. As the narrative unfolds, we witness the strength of faith manifesting in the hearts of those who remain steadfast in their beliefs despite the adversities. This serves as a powerful reminder that resilience and hope can prevail even in the darkest moments. The faithful are encouraged to resist the temptation of despair, for the promise of a glorious future awaits those who persevere. The final victory, according to Revelation, is not merely the defeat of evil powers, but the renewal of the earth. Images of radiant light and lush landscapes contrast starkly with the previous scenes of destruction. The arrival of a new heaven and a new earth symbolizes the restoration of creation, where there will be no more pain, sorrow, or death. Instead, peace and harmony will reign, a return to the original state God intended for humanity. The climax of the apocalypse is marked by the return of Christ, who brings justice and redemption. He will gather his own and establish an eternal kingdom of love and truth. In this new world, the faithful will witness the fulfillment of divine promises, enjoying eternal life alongside the Creator. Thus, even though the narrative of the apocalypse is filled with challenges and terrifying figures, the essence of the message is one of hope, the certainty that after the storm, there will be a rainbow. After the struggle, peace, and after suffering, joy. The apocalypse invites us to look beyond the present chaos and believe that, in the end, love and light will triumph over darkness. Well, folks, that was our explanation about the end of times according to the apocalypse. Each person may interpret this story in different ways, but one thing is certain: it prompts us to reflect deeply on the world we live in and the future that awaits us. So we invite you to think about how the message of the apocalypse connects with your life. Can the lessons of perseverance and hope help us face the challenges of everyday life? And, in the end, what do you believe will happen at the end of times? Share your thoughts and theories in the comments, because we would love to hear what you think. And if you enjoyed the video and want to see more content like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any updates, and of course, give us a thumbs up to help us grow and bring more fascinating videos on topics that spark our curiosity. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.